Goliath meets Goliath tonight under the stars at the iconic Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum as the newly #1 ranked Heather Furr and Tasha the Tank Pryor-led Chicago Bliss come to town to battle for Western supremacy against 2010 LFL champion Los Angeles Temptation and their emerging stars Zephora Chase and Rookie of the Year candidate Ashley Salerno. It's the 3-0 Chicago Bliss against the 3-0 Los Angeles Temptation. Which team's destiny is it to capture the first ever undefeated LFL season? Find out next on LFL Friday Night Football.
Let's go. This is the place and the time to decide in your mind if you got what it takes for the shine. Yo, don't be wasting the time. Yo, get erased from the line. Yo, lights and the cameras are flashing, fans on their feet and it's time for some action. Thunder and lightning, they fighting and clashing. High speed chase, race and keep smashing. L, this is Friday Night Football.
Welcome to Memorial Coliseum here in Los Angeles. Zephora Chase and the Temptation are excited. Sean, let's take a look at Western Conference standings. Chicago and LA are already in.
They're absolutely in the playoffs, and this is just a pride game. Getting ready, Tommy, for that January 29th playoff game in Jacksonville.
Sean, a couple of emerging rock stars on tap tonight.
This is a special football player, Heather Furr, Chicago's quarterback. Feet, arm, and the leadership, which is the most important. She's extended her quarterbacking lead over the rest and giving Chicago great insight. And then you take a look at the other side, Zephora Chase. You may not heard much about her unless you have to defend her, Tommy. One of the best inside power backs. Look at that, 5'11", $170. With their perimeter game, she will knock you in the mouth. Look for her to get a lot of carries between the tackles today.
And all fantasy players squaring off, Chicago's Deborah Pohl and LA's Ashley Salerno.
All right, Tommy, you and I could both make the point that Deborah Pohl's maybe as good a defensive player in the league and also as feared a linebacker and defensive player as there is in the league. She brings it. Everybody recognizes you must contain her defensively for your offense to have a shot to dominate a football game. One of the great players and a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. And on the other side of the ball, this is a rookie, Ashley Salerno, Rookie of the Year candidate, MVP candidate, maybe the most complete quarterback we have in the league. And Tommy, scary thing about it is, she loves contact, and she's still learning how to play the game. Gives LA a great advantage.
And finally, in LFL 2.0, Sean, you've been talking about her. Now teams around the league starting to take notice of LA's Melissa Margolis.
The most under-talked-about girl in this league that's a devastating playmaker. Melissa Margolis, she gets on the edge. Great speed when you get her the ball in the open space. Extremely difficult to tackle. And what a great compliment she is to Chase inside-outside ice and fire type game.
This one will get your pulse pumping. It's Chicago versus LA, and it's now on LFL Friday Night Football. Back here in Los Angeles with my partner Sean Salisbury.
I love how you do those merchandise voiceovers. I love them.
I knew you did.
I love them.
Ronima is set to kick off. Here we go. High end over end, and this one's going to go out of bounds.
Not the way you want to start the game.
Nope. So Chicago will have it 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. And Sean, Chicago can run the football, but they have trouble down around the red zone.
Yes, they do. And Tommy, the thing about it is it's funny. I say a not so good way to start the game. The way Chicago's explosive, it may not be a stupid thing by Ronima to kick it out of bounds. Tommy, you're going into this game now. Keep an eye on this. LA's the best red zone defense in the league. Chicago's 9th best red zone offense, yet this is a football team that you shake your head. How are they 9th? When they're as good, I mean, this is as good a team as there is in all of football.
Averaging 29 points a game, and they're 9th in the red zone.
That means they score a lot of long-distance touchdowns, folks.
Exactly. Where would you go first? You'd give it to the tank, and Tasha Pryor's going to get a couple. Melissa Margolis, who we've talked about on offense, right there with the stout.
Tommy, she is becoming a widely known name by the people in this league. You've seen her explode on offense, and now she comes up and makes a hit on defense. Don't mistake the little 5'3" frame for somebody that won't come up and knock you around. Really, really playing wonderful, wonderful football, and she has become, you'll see her on defense when she doesn't get enough pub for her at the corner position, but when you see her on offense and the quickness, you saw Margolis right there, she can play. And here's Heather Furr, MVP candidate, Tommy, has taken over a major leadership role for this Chicago Bliss football team and gives them a great chance.
Furr can run it and throw it, and now she is going to run it, tucks it inside, gets across the 25, out to about the 27. Nikki Key right there with a big hit.
Yeah, Nikki making plays, and she makes them all year long. Now, you know what's interesting? We got some really big-time all-fantasy all-stars in this. You got the two quarterbacks who are MVP candidates, Salerno and Furr. Then you got you'll never find two more physical runners in the NFL on the same field. When you talk about Zephora Chase 170-pounder, 5'11" for LA. And then on the other side, Tasha Pryor, who we know has been bruising people for a couple years in this league.
Oh, absolutely. Furr now back. And a bad snap right there. Throws it over the middle. Nice catch by Shannon Renee. That's going to be about a 13-yard game. Ogum Chinchunyu is right there with the stop.
Great job by Heather Furr, the presence and the leadership. Ball snapped on the ground. Still has a presence of mind to keep her eyes upfield and make the play. And how many plays have we seen Shannon Renee make, Tommy, this year? With her hands going up and getting the ball at its highest point.
Especially defensively, the best interception rate in the league.
She can return them for touchdowns. What a weapon she's given them. And we mentioned other players. Let's not forget Poles and Gaxiola as linebackers in this league.
Little pitch and a reverse. Here comes Stacey Jarrett, the former quarterback, comes around the left side, and a very nice tackle by Amber Doswet to make the stop.
Nice job by Amber driving on the football in the open field. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time we covered Chicago, the last game they had, Tommy, they ran that exact play and Jarrett took it in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And here's Stacey Jarrett is maybe as good a backup quarterback as there is in this league, Tommy, as far as somebody that if something happened to Furr, you could throw Stacey in there right now and she can play with great versatility that you could say, well, Stacey, you're not a quarterback this week. We'll make you a wide receiver and you can go make a play for us. Chicago's got a lot of you got as many weapons, and you're going to see more weapons just like at Tampa and Philly next week. The same type of all-stars on the field.
All right, second down and about 8. It's the Wildcat, the tank, Tasha Pryor. Here she goes. Just fights her way forward down near the 5-yard line where they're spotted. I think she's going to be about a yard short.
What do they call that? Like instead of the Wildcat, the blissful presence or something? Whatever you want to call it, just the tank. Yes, matter of fact, whatever Tasha decides it wants to be, that's the name of the play. Chicago starting. Remember, folks, 9th in the league in red zone offense against the first-rated red zone defense. Something's got to give here in this football game.
3rd and 1. Furr comes around the left side. She waited a little while, and now she's not going to get the first down. Heather Furr looking for that first down. Hesitated just for a minute, Sean, and then couldn't get outside.
Yeah, you wonder if that was a designed hesitation, Tommy, to let things happen. Here's a flag.
There's no foul on the play.
Well, they had to throw the football. That's their 3rd rush in a row, their 3rd consecutive rush. So that's a loss of down. Now it should be 4th and 6.
Which means they, once again, will have to throw on this down. So Tasha can't touch. Now, see, Tom, on a play like this, you got Shannon Renee, who's a big receiver, who can make a play.
They didn't move the ball. Sean, they didn't move the ball. There's a penalty. They did not move the ball. It's still 4th and 1. She's still got to throw it. Tries to, and she's sacked.
Well, guess what? LA apparently was a little irritated at it, too, and said, you know what? And I don't know how you're not. They had the ball marked. You get a penalty flag. How do you lose it down but not the 5 yards that goes along with it? Well, guess what? Tommy, to bear the statistics out, LA best red zone defense, Chicago 9th ranked red zone offense, and guess what? LA wins out. And at home, LA playing. Great crowd here watching the 2 best teams in the West. They'll meet again in a couple weeks down in Jacksonville, Florida. And you ask yourself, how much do I give up here? Pride and integrity takes over, Tommy. You still want to knock the hell right out of the person playing across from you.
There's Salerno, 12 of 21, a 184 passer rating, and she can run it. She can flat run that football. That's Margulis with it, comes around the left side. Margulis with a nice opening, gets across the 20 and a big tackle. Deborah Pohl delivered a shot, gain of about 9 on the play, make it 2nd and 1.
Tommy, you mentioned Salerno. I'm not real sure how you defend with Gigi Vanderwalker. And there you see Deborah Poles and why when the voting comes in for defensive MVP, she's going to be right there along with Liz Gorman and a few other great players. Poles will be all over the field tonight.
Salerno, that pass is caught by Margolis. She's right at the first down marker, and I think just did fall forward. Kia Wagner there on the stop, but Margolis gets about maybe a couple on that, and it's a first down for LA.
Tommy, how do you stop LA? Salerno, you mentioned her. You see the numbers, run and pass threat at the top of the league in total offense and scoring in just about every category. She's a Rookie of the Year candidate and obviously being mentioned for MVP on what some think's the best team in football in LA. Then you got Margolis, who can run the ball and catch it. You got Vanda Walker, who's an all-fantasy type player. You can run it inside with Chase. How do you stop LA? I'm not sure, and it starts with this girl, number 8, Salerno.
Motion comes to the near side. It's a double reverse coming around the left side. There's a big opening. She's across the 20, 15, 10, down to about the 9-yard line. I think that's Lutasha Bradley who had the carry.
Nice job, nice change-up pitch. And the key here, Tommy, with LA is you get Margolis and you get Chase and you get them going, all of a sudden, boom, you get Bradley on a little reverse and look what happens. Big gainer.
No score, tied here at nothing. LA driving when we come back.
This is Friday Night Football.
First and goal, football at about the 5-yard line after that long run by Latasha Bradley.
A great momentum switcher with LA's defense coming up big.
There's Margolis right there. She split out wide to the right, now comes in motion to the far side. Pitches to Margolis. No, she lost the football and then got it back. Heather Furr with a heck of a defensive play.
And, you take a risk if you're Chicago with your all-star type quarterback, MVP candidate, putting her on defense, Tommy. LA won't do it with Salerno. She can play defense and knock you around, but we've heard Biz talk about it many times. He does not want to put his best, because the game completely changes when you're a star quarterback. Now, you're not going to put Peyton Manning playing safety, are you? And that's what they're doing. Or maybe it's Michael, but whatever Salerno wants to be called. And remember, folks, she's a rookie and still doesn't quite know how to play, yet she's dominating.
Motion comes to the near side now. Salerno rolls out to the right. She's in trouble again. Throws in the pass is deflected, batted down. Yashi Rice right there with a host of other Chicago Bliss defenders. There was nowhere for Salerno to go.
And folks, if the name sounds familiar, Yashi Rice just happens to be the little sister of Sim Rice, who was one of the great pass rushers in the NFL, former first-round draft pick, who I know is proud. And I'd like to see him in the living room, get down to 3 points, see who gets the quarterback quicker. But Yashi did a great job. But you know what? That's the development of Salerno, Tommy. Instead of doing something stupid, tries to throw it out of bounds and not take a sack. Smart football play.
Third and goal now at about the 9-yard line. Handoff goes right up the middle. Chase Sephora going nowhere. She might have got a couple. Deborah Poles among other right there with the stop. That Chicago front three is pretty strong, Sean.
Oh, Tommy, they sure are. They get great penetration. And that's the only way Sephora Chase is going to be stopped. You can't let her build. You can't let Deborah Poles make the first hit 4 yards deep on your defense. But you got to let Deborah and Yashi Rice and these girls all converge. You saw there 4 or 5 bodies hitting Sephora Chase and standing her up and letting your friends come and help. And this will not be the last time you see Chase run between the guards and tackles area.
4th and 7. They must throw the football here. Salerno looking over the defense. Fades back, looking, got all day, throws and overthrows everybody. That was just a little bit too high, and Chicago holds.
Okay, well, and a great job by Chicago's defense, and they're one of the best. And Tommy, as we switch offense and defense here, one thing you're going to see is Gigi Vanderwalker, who is an all-fantasy player, we talked about what a weapon she is, obviously not playing in the game,
right,
which is why you're going to see Margolis, who plays some safety and corner on defense, but also running back and versatile, kind of the slash type, putting her more at wide receiver and use her in motion to replace Vanderwalker on the perimeter.
Heather Furr on a design keeper for a nice cutback. She's across the 15 out to about the 18 or 19-yard line. 12 or 13-yard gain, first down for Chicago.
I don't think there's a lot of love lost between these two teams, Tom.
No, I agree.
I think they both recognize, with due respect to Seattle and San Diego and Dallas, who are all talented, that obviously they got this one, they got January 29th, and they both think they're worthy of being in at the LFL championship game
absolutely.
In Las Vegas. There's no question.
Little pitch forward. That one is caught across the 20 out to about the 22 or 23-yard line. First down, that's Deborah Poles with the catch. And Chicago rolling offensively.
Underrated wide receiving core with Deborah Poles at wide receiver and with Shannon Renee at wide receiver, Tommy. And Deborah can we've seen her score and make some great catches. Chicago needs to get her involved on offense as well. 2nd and 7,
trip receivers go to the right side. Furr fades back, now rolls out and forces a pass. And it was almost intercepted, incomplete. It's 3rd down now.
Gotta be careful. That's the part of being a quarterback. It's not just knowing when to pull the trigger, Tommy. It's knowing when not to. It's knowing when not to try and throw the ball down and make big plays. They're so used to their big play offense that you got to be careful on certain chances.
3rd and 7. Furr fades, throws, and just dropped. Deborah Poles had it, but just couldn't hang on. And now 4th down, and they can run or pass.
That's
they can
right.
do either one.
And Tank Pryor would be a good option here, Tommy.
Yeah.
Giving it to her. Now this is when you throw the ball. Deborah Poles won't drop many. I'll tell you one thing, Tommy. We've got some really special wideouts in this league.
Yeah.
That catch a lot of balls in traffic. So we'll see how Chicago, as they try to get their in mind and have a little confusion in the huddle, going to take a timeout here.
Yep,
Tommy.
we'll take one. LA on the lead. 4th down and about 6 now for Chicago. Chicago struggled offensively, Sean. They can't get on track. Motion goes to the far side. Little pitch goes to the left side. That's Tasha Pryor. And the tank gets knocked down. A hard shot by Ogum Chuchinyu. And Tasha Pryor is stopped.
Tell you what, very few people light her up. When Tasha Pryor contact comes, she's usually falling forward. But buy a vowel for Shushindu. Okay, Tommy, buy yourself a vowel because right then and there, she sent the big, oh my gosh, to Tasha Pryor. Shushindu is becoming, we talk about Gaxiola on defense for LA. Shushindu is becoming one of those type of players.
Oh, she is, yeah.
And once again, LA's defense holds at home as they battle as both teams are going to the playoffs. One of these teams will be in the final.
And now here we go. Salerno fades back wide, opens it for a chase for an easy touchdown. LA drew Chicago in. Zafora Chase does a little block and then slides out. Touchdown, LA.
And it'll worm you a little bit too on it, Tommy. Not warm you, but it'll worm you on the celebration. Here's why it works, Tommy. You get the play action. Look at the nice play action of Stephanie Pissick because you're an effective run team. And then you got Chase, who is an inside power runner, so nobody accounts for her in the secondary. Great execution, great play call, great design, great formation by a team that knows how to capitalize. Chase, Pissick, and then obviously Salerno. Her ball handling is becoming Peyton Manning-like in this league. Great job, and that's where it all started. Confuse the defense.
So LA strikes first, now looking for that extra point. Salerno. Oh, she's in trouble already trying to get around the outside, and there's nowhere to go. Oh my, Chicago read that very well. Let's listen in. That's a serious hit, partner.
Yeah, Deborah Poles, can I introduce you? And Heather Furr, may I introduce you guys too? I don't know if it was Heather who made the initial hit. Let me introduce quarterback to quarterback. Heather Furr, Ashley Salerno. Well, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Great drive on the ball by Heather Furr to prevent Salerno from giving it in.
And these extra points, as we know, can be huge. Handoff goes off right tackle. Stacey Jarrett's going to pull out about 5 yards on that play. Jarrett, again, we talked about the backup quarterback's got good hands, can run with the ball, gives them a lot of options.
Tell you what, at some point, Tommy, whether it's this game or down the road, what you need to see is the handoff to Stacey Jarrett, show sweep, and have Heather Furr creep out the backside and let Stacey Jarrett pull up and do the throwback. Because I watched Heather Furr after the handoff. She creeped out the left side, wasn't a soul within 15 yards of her. That's a touchdown waiting to happen down the road in some game.
Looking over the middle, the pass is caught. Deborah Poles has got it. Poles gets about 12 or 13 on the play. That's a first down, Chicago.
What's better than Poles from Furr as it's been the whole year long, Tommy? When in doubt, Heather Furr has hit Deborah Poles, and Poles makes you pay. And a great job. That was almost like a hot read from Heather Furr.
Yeah.
Right to Poles, hits her right over, gets it in her hands. Poles takes it from Furr, and it's nothing better than that as far as combo goes for Chicago this year.
Heather Furr. Strong throw on that one. 5.5 left. Chicago trying to tie this one up, and a bad snap. Now Furr's got to go back, trying to make a little chicken salad here, and she is sacked. That's going to be about an 11 or 12-yard loss, a huge loss.
Once chicken crap, always chicken crap when the ball's on the ground, Tommy. That chicken salad, I don't know if Heather took her eyes off the ball, but she's made a play earlier when the ball's on the ground. But if you take your eyes off the ball on the snap, and depending on what happens, don't know if there's any moisture on the football or not, but she did a good job at least falling on it, not causing a tough turnover.
2nd and 20 now. Pitch goes forward. That's Deborah Poles with nowhere to go. LA read that very well. Latasha Bradley's Zafora Chase there on the stop, and it is 3rd and 20.
Folks, Zafora Chase is 5'11", $170. You tackle her.
No.
Or you block her on the other side.
Sorry.
Amazing. But you know what? The one thing about it, Tommy, is even though LA's up 6-0, we saw, like I said, you mentioned the chicken salad on the ground and Heather Furr making a play. At some point in this game, Heather Furr's leadership and ability will get them back into this.
3rd and 20.
Not a real good stat. We don't have any play calls for that one.
She rolling out, steps up, throws a bad pass, a floater, and it's intercepted. Kayla Teener's got it, and she's down to about the 21-yard line.
Merry Christmas in January, Kayla. You just can't do that, Tommy. And I mentioned that Stacey Furr is going to make decisions that'll get them back in this game. You saw Salerno throw one out of bounds when she was going to get sacked. Across her body, the toughest throw. Even NFL players at their best can't make that throw. Throws it right to Kayla Teener, who is Johnny on the spot, hit her right in the jersey. And then, once again, charging down LA's defense for the third time has stopped Chicago, and stupid plays by Chicago have put them in the bind. And Heather Furr's better than that, Tommy.
And now LA in terrific field position again with 3:40 left in the first half. Salerno fades back, looking, steps up, looking long, and that pass well overthrown. Looking for Amber Doswhite, but it's incomplete. It'll be second down.
And Doswhite obviously going to get more minutes in this game at the wide receiver position, or at least more looks, Tommy,
right,
because no Gigi Vanderwalker, and you'll get Margolis going. And right now, if you're comparing MVP candidates, I think Stacey Furr's got to get better if she wants to stay in this MVP race on their last regular season game.
Second and 10. Here's a reverse coming around the right side. Nikki Key, and does she get taken down by Deborah Poles? That is a major league tackle, partner.
I think that Deborah wants to make an emphasis with an exclamation point. Let's listen in. She doesn't miss tackle.
No, she does not. She doesn't arm tackle. She tackles with everything she's got.
And we talk, and folks, while there's pride involved, there's also all fantasy and awards in, and Deborah Poles trying to keep up in her chase for the defensive MVP in this league.
Third down and about 8 now. Snap back, Salerno. Under some pressure, steps up, throws, and it's all caught and dropped. Natalie Jenke had it and couldn't hang on, and now it is fourth down, and they can run her pass.
And here's the interesting thing, Tommy. Janke, who's your center? We're not supposed to have centers catch the ball. That's probably why Natalie dropped it. She's an all-fantasy center, not used to seeing the ball hit her in the hands.
6-0 LA. We'll take a break. LA driving when we come back on LFL Friday Night Football. Temptation Nation out in force here tonight. LA Memorial Coliseum, the historic venue. And LA with a 6-0 lead, but 4th and 8 now at the Chicago 20. Salerno fades back, steps up, looks, throws into the end zone, and it's picked off. Shannon Renee's got it. She's going to decide to bring it out, and she only gets to about the 4-yard line.
Has a ball that's hit Shannon Renee in the hands all year been on the ground?
No.
I don't think that's her 4th interception. I smell all fantasy happening for Shannon Renee this year. She's also an effective receiver on the other side of the ball. She just does not drop it. Here's a ball. Fake, does great ball handling. We're sitting here bragging on Salerno too. And I know it's long distance. You're trying to take a shot to the end zone. I get it, but double coverage. Shannon Renee does not leave the ball on the ground. She just doesn't.
That's huge. Chicago at least stops LA. They may not score here, but they at least stop LA. First down, Chicago. Handoff goes along the right side, and there's only going to be a couple yards there. Tasha Pryor maybe got 3 or 4 out of it by the time it was done, and let's call it about 2nd and 6. Stephanie Pissick there with the stop.
If you're in Chicago, this is one of those, Tommy, you don't play scared, but don't play stupid.
Right.
You got enough time to go down and score, but don't do what Heather did the last time and throw a ball across your body as an interception.
Motion comes to the near side, a little pitch forward, that's Deborah Poles, and she's going nowhere. She may have got a yard or so, but that's about it. And now Chicago is in a little trouble.
And here's the danger, Tommy. If you don't get a first down and you got to go for it on 4th down here, which we don't punt in this league, and you leave too much time on the clock, LA's going to get a shot at the end zone if you don't get a first down here.
3rd down and about 5. Rolls out to the right side under some pressure, steps up, throws, and it's caught. Deborah Poles has got it, a gain of about 4 there, and I think she's just shy of the first down. Yep, she is. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard now for that first down.
See, if I'm Chicago, take this doggone clock down to where you make one, you throw it at the end, throw a deep ball down the field,
throw it as
but
far
where
as you
there's
can throw
nothing
it, right?
left on the clock. You don't snap this ball until you have to. You don't want to give LA a shot down here in the red zone.
And Chicago with a quick snap. Now she's going to run, comes around the left side, and she'll have enough for a first down and a head tackle. Oh, my. Little head hunting here, partner.
Good gracious. But a good hit. Got to protect yourself. Your star quarterback, you need her for the playoffs. Be careful, you get hitters coming over here. Ooh, little clothesline. But guess what, Tommy? No penalty? Well, maybe there is. Did they call a flag? There is a flag down. Will it be for something like a hands to the face type thing?
Number 17.
No.
5-yard penalty. Replay it down.
Holding on Shannon Renee.
Not a bad deal, though. Gonna be 4th down, replay the down now. You just in the half, throw the ball down the field, take a shot at the end zone, and go. That's about the only thing Shannon Renee's done wrong the whole season.
Yeah. Or if you're Chicago and you say, you know what, we can't throw it far enough, there's no chance, let's just take a knee and walk away. 6-0 is not the end of the world.
Absolutely. Well, Tommy, that's what I'd do. You're backed up, your offense has struggled. Don't do something stupid. Just be smart with your decision.
4th down. She'll fade back. They are going to throw it, or they want to, and she does. She unloads this baby down near the 20, and it's incomplete. Knocked away, incomplete. 6-0 at half. In a half that LA played pretty well, Chicago didn't, but LA's got that 6-0 lead. We'll take a break. Halftime is coming up. We'll be back.
This is Friday Night Football.
I don't want to come into this locker room at the end of the game. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but didn't.
You tell them where they're going, you put them in their place, and you keep them there.
Our first play worked great. We hit our blocks. After that, we didn't. Offense, we got a block. We're getting a quarterback and killed out there.
I think the eyes were focused on the coach's speech. I like that because you see LA opening up the game. They're so effective running it inside. Bradley on the reverse gets them down into the red zone. And then the great play action fake. Stephanie Pissick on the fake. Salerno to Zavora Chase for the big home run and the touchdown. Now you see the quick pitch. LA's defense is running on Pryor and making sure that you get bodies around with the big hit. And then Heather Furr, don't do this. You put yourself in a major bind across your body, throwing it for the interception, and LA again with momentum. Then a nice little fake, and Salerno trying to take a shot at the end zone, but the interception by Shannon Renee, who's been doing it all year to the tune of 4 interceptions, trying to bring it out. LA's offense and defense much better than Chicago to start out. And then look at the hitting going on. You don't think these girls care? Nice shot over on the sideline. The way they're getting after it. There you see the statistics. The key here, 4th down conversions for Chicago. 0 for 3. LA's in charge, even though it's only 6-0. We got one hell of a second half coming up on LFL Friday Night Football.
This is Friday Night Football.
Welcome back to LA. 6-0. The LA Temptation with the lead over the Chicago Bliss here on LFL Friday Night Football. Deborah Poles will kick off for Chicago, and it is a low-line drive. Nikki Key will pick it up at about the 17. She's going nowhere. Yashi Rice right there at the stop, so LA will have it 1st and 10.
Those are always dangerous kickoffs for the receiving team. Ball kicks around, hits somebody's leg, hits somebody's knee. Bam, Chicago has it. We got an injury on the field now. It looks like Stacey Jarrett. They'll afford to lose this weapon, Tommy.
Holy cow. That's one of their best receivers. We talked about her in the first half, how talented she is, and she's staying on the ground.
Versatile. Look at, she's holding hands, gripping tight, Tommy. I've been down this road with knee injuries, and I don't know what it is, Tommy. I don't know if it's a knee. You see a wrap on
It's either
the right
a knee or an ankle.
No, you got to be
That
carried
left
off.
one.
That's not good. And let's hope for Stacy's sake, personally, that everything's okay. But what an effect that has on their football team, which is not as important. There you see Salerno's numbers, although not MVP-type numbers, enough to get you a 6-0 lead. We'll keep our eye on Stacey Jarrett's injury.
Handoff comes around the right side. Melissa Margulis. She tries a little cutback, and that Chicago defense is right there. Yashi Rice, among others, there on the stop.
And another name you're not seeing much of on both sides of the ball, Tommy, is Monique Gaxiola. Remember, she's had 2 blown-out knees, and this is a game where you can rest somebody who may be banged up a little bit and who needs to get a little rest for the playoffs. So you're not seeing much of Gaxiola, and obviously Gigi Vanderwalker not in this football game either for LA.
Make it 2nd and 9 after the yard gain. Motion comes to the near side, little fake there. Steps up, looking long, and it is picked off. Shannon Renee came away. Look at the wrestling match she had. How do you win that wrestling match? But she did.
Where'd the ball hit her? In the hands? Ball hit her in the hands, right, Tommy?
Yep.
She doesn't drop them. Shannon Renee, what's that, 5th pick of the year? If you're looking for, look at that, struggles, and how physical is that? Taking it right out of the hands, falling down. That is a great job taking it away from Bradley and giving Chicago a chance. And I'll tell you this, and I don't know about all the votes and everything. If Shannon Renee's not an all-fantasy player, then I got a white beard and a red suit on right now, okay? Heatherford numbers in the first half. Throwing the ball pretty doggone well. They just can't get in the end zone.
Handoff goes to Pryor. She gets away from one, gets a little upfield block. Look at her just fall forward. And that's what you expect. Once the initial contact comes, she falls forward for another yard and a half.
Look at the 233 yards, 7 yards a carry, almost 7.5 yards a carry. And Tom, you make a great point. This young lady, Tasha Pryor, who's physical and doesn't say a whole lot, but she lets her game do the talking. That when you initiate first contact, she's not falling backwards south, she's falling north.
Number 2 in rushing yards per game, and they're going to give it to her again, and here she goes right up the middle. Look at the tank, delivers a shot, and that's yet another Chicago first down.
And why not, Tommy? Why not? And now you reset the downs, get yourself a first down, you can run it again.
Yeah,
run
absolutely.
it again. In this game, and I think by now people who tune in every week, which is a lot of you got to throw the ball minimum of 2 times every 4 downs. You got to throw it. But when you reset the downs and get 2 runs that are first down, you come right back and it's a new 4 downs. Now, this is the Chicago team we know.
First down. Little ball fake. Now she's coming around the right side. Very nice fake to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Heather Furr and Chicago.
Did I say, Tommy, the first time I said at some point in this game she will do something that allows her to get this team, to get the Chicago back in the game. And that's what makes her one of the rock stars of this league. Great play action fake to the big threat, as we see there. Make the threat, make the fake, and then get the great job of blocking by Chicago. Look at him sew it off like a wall, Tommy. You see that on special teams returns. Nice job, and then the great speed of Heather Furr to get to the edge. She wants that MVP award, and she'd like a victory too. And she ties it up with a great run to the perimeter and unbelievable blocking up front by a very, very physical Chicago team.
Now the big extra point. We have talked all year long about how important these are. LA could not convert. Can Chicago? Going for 1. Comes around the right side, trying to fall forward. Great second defensive effort as Chicago's Heather Furr not able to get in.
Unbelievable job by both of these defenses saying, we are not allowing you to get that point. And getting a lot of people to the football, because with the athletes on both of these teams, they have the ability to get to the edge. But a great job interior and making sure you sprint sideline to sideline to make a stop. And LA got those big horses up front, Bradley, Barba, Yankee. That's where they control the line of scrimmage.
Motion coming. Little pitch goes to that right side. That's Margulis, and she turns the corner, gets about 5 or 6 yards on that play. Deborah Poles there. Did you see the shot that Deborah Poles gave right at the end of that play?
Sure did, and Deborah Poles will run and hit and run and run. LA going to the hurry-up offense, and once again, Margulis obviously a threat. This young lady's come out of nowhere to be one of the great players in this league.
Salerno fades back. The pitch is to Margulis, and oh, how about that? Heather Furr almost picked that baby off.
And Tommy, isn't it amazing the focus that these girls that can go both ways have? I mean, here you are, a quarterback trying to make a play. You just got done making an unbelievable play on the perimeter offensively, and then what do? Come back and decide, well, let me make an open field tackle so nobody can get a run going and take care of it. And Moynet, as you saw her there, leading the traffic. Danielle Moynet has been a really good player in this league, but letting Heather Furr know what's going on defensively. And there's Deborah Poles staring eye to eye.
3rd down and about 5 now. A reverse coming back around the right side, and she's dancing down that sideline. Chase Sephora is going to get 11 or 12 on that one, and a big first down for LA.
Nice job by Sephora Chase getting out of the perimeter. Now the ironic thing is we've seen Sephora Chase make a great catch in the open field for a touchdown, which we wouldn't say has been her strength.
Right.
And then we've seen her on the reverse get to the perimeter. Folks, that's 5'11", 175 pounds, a grown woman there. I mean, and that's its compliment. I mean, that's a compliment because she obviously can beat you inside, but you're seeing LA and do a great job of play calling, of being able to use Margulis as running inside. You're sending her in motion. You don't have Vanderwalker. You don't have Gaxiola. And now you're pound in Zephora Chase on play action fakes and get her in the open field. This is a really good game plan by Los Angeles so far.
First down again, just under 13 minutes left, tied at 6 here in LA. Motion goes to the far side. Yet another reverse. Here comes Nikki Key, and she's got a little room. She's inside the 15, down to about the 12. Deborah Poles with the stop. Key with yet another LA first down.
And you know why LA's doing this, Tommy? You want to show some certain things to get a defense thinking for the playoffs. But I'll tell you another reason. The fellas are having a good time saying, I can't hit as good as the ladies do. You're right, guys. Keep drinking your beer while they're out there doing all the work.
Exactly, yeah.
But Tommy, why they're doing all this misdirection, we've seen 3 or 4 reverse attempts now by LA, is because Chicago runs so well to the football, they're giving them some misdirection.
Oh, I thought it was a first down. They marked her short. Looked like she had plenty of room for the first down. Instead, it's 2nd and 1 now. Fade back, throws, and it's picked off. Heather Furr with it, a terrific pick, and she returns this inside LA territory to about the LA 19-yard line.
You saw the blitz inside and Jennifer Sharp inside the nose tackle, getting instant pressure on, and that's the advantage of having a quarterback playing secondary, Tommy, is that they understand quarterback's eyes and understand reads. And watch this, look at inside penetration, nice job, and then the old uncovered receiver, throw it out to him, and a great job by Heather Furr baiting Ashley Salerno to the interception.
She almost got that one in the last series. She almost got that same one. We talked about that.
Not bad. I understand Chicago's game plan now, or understand why they do it. Heather Furr, when you put her out on the perimeter, she understands how to read a quarterback's eyes.
Big time possession for Chicago now. Give goes along the right side. There's the tank, Tasha Pryor, and she's going to get about 3 yards on that play. Danielle Hieronyma there on the stop.
Nice job by Hieronyma getting in the open field, and this is a very difficult person to bring down is Tasha Pryor. Physical, pounding runner, and her strength is not running east-west football, and that's what LA's interior people are trying to do. They'll, with Kayla Teener and the gals inside are forcing to get Pryor on the perimeter, which is not her strength.
2nd about 8. Give again, goes to Pryor. She goes along that left side and bodies go flying. She gets about another 3 yards on that play. Let's make it now 3rd down and about 6, and Chicago's got to pass twice in a row. We'll do it after this timeout.
This is Friday Night Football.
3rd down and about 4 now, and Chicago's got to throw it twice in a row, Sean.
And they're not a good red zone offense.
Pitch goes forward. Gonna fight. Deborah Poles might get another 3 yards, and I think just shy of that first down. I believe it's going to be 4th down, and again, they've got to throw the ball.
Yeah, and folks at home, you're saying, well, that counts as a run, right? No, that is what's called a shovel pass. If that ball would have been knocked to the ground, that would have been an incomplete pass. So they're using the high percentage, get it out of her hand, short passing game to fulfill that 2 pass per 4 down quota. Deborah Poles with the ball in her hand, good job. Remember now, Chicago scored that long touchdown by Heather Furr on the run, but you get into the red zone, they're the 9th out of 10 teams offensive red zone team in the league, which is not good against the #1 LA defense.
4th down and a yard. To fade back, look, steps up, throws, and it's caught. Shannon Renee right there. First down, Chicago.
We go around and we got receivers in Miami, we got receivers in Dallas, and Seattle. We got receivers all over the place. We got one that's not playing in this game, Vandewalker, who catches everything. And Tommy, I don't know if I've seen more of the person when the ball's in her hand. It's like the spider web, man. She grabs onto it, and Shannon Renee, offensively and defensively, you can throw it to her in traffic, you can let her be physical. She just goes and gets it. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Bryn Rinda do a lot of the same things,
right.
Who's done a great
Tampa,
job out in Tampa. So these girls that go up and get this football with their hands do a great job.
1st and goal at the 6. Bad snap, goes to Pryor, comes around the right side. She's into the 5, in, touchdown. Hold the phone, we got a flag. We have a flag down, and I got a feeling this is coming back, partner.
Great effort by Tasha Pryor. That's Nikki Lee. Well, I know, Tommy, you love her on the defensive side of the ball, too.
Absolutely. She gets pressure on that quarterback. It's a big part of why Chicago's as good as they are.
What happens, folks, when you get interior holding like that, you get the runner bounces it, gets outside, and so you don't let your runner get hit. What do? You grab on and latch on, trying to give her a place in the space to run.
1st and goal. Give goes to Pryor. She gets through that first line. Look at her just motor down the field, inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line.
Well, when initial contact happens about 9 yards down the field, Tommy, with that girl, it's not real good.
It's like Sephora Chase.
Exactly,
you aren't
right.
going to stop her when she's got that momentum.
You've got to meet her and create a new line of scrimmage in their backfield and not let her get her feet moving. You let her get her feet moving. Great job controlling the line of scrimmage by Chicago up front, and then you push, and initial contact 8-9 yards down the field. All day Chicago will take that.
Second and goal, football at the 3. The Bliss knocking at the door, trying to take the lead here in L.A. Bad snap again, and Furr this time is going nowhere. Throws and it's almost caught. Just barely incomplete.
What a great effort by receiver and quarterback to make a play and get after it. I think that was Shannon Renee too,
Yep.
wasn't it, Tommy?
Yes, sir.
Great job by Furr to deal with the bad snap. Now, if Chicago doesn't fix this, that's about the 4th or 5th time Chicago's had a bad gun snap, Tommy. If they don't start to fix this, it's going to cost them in the playoffs. These teams are too good when you get to the Final Four.
Third and goal at the 3. 3 backs behind on the right side. Nowhere to run whatsoever. Furr met and dropped. Let's call it a loss of a couple. Had 3 receivers to the right side, and they read that very well.
Nikki Key on the initial hit and wraps up. Chicago's got to get some red zone effort here.
And they have to throw the ball here. Furr fades back, looks into the corner of the end zone, and it's tipped away incomplete. Nice defensive play there. Shannon Renee looking to make the catch, incomplete, and L.A. holds.
Chicago has changed the momentum of the game with the way they've approached it. But Tommy, now we're down. They can't score in the red zone.
Yeah.
Their only touchdown came out of the red zone by the big run by Heather Furr, their quarterback, athleticism. This is killing Chicago against Los Angeles, but LA's defense, give them credit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a reason. First and 10, football at the 5. Here's Margolis. Nice block. Comes around the right side. Breaks 1 tackle. She's across the 10. Out to about the 13-yard line. Danielle Moynier there on the stop.
Man, Tommy, at the beginning of the season, when this thing started out, nobody talked about this girl.
No.
I said it before.
No.
Margolis was just and when I say this, I mean it with an afterthought. She was an afterthought. I mean, when you talked about LA, you weren't talking about her.
No.
And then game 2, who's this girl? Game 3, you're like, I know who this girl is. And then game 4, it's like, now she comes in as a focus of their offense.
Sephora Chase, exactly the same thing with Sephora Chase.
2 amazing weapons rearing their head for the reigning LFL champs win. You didn't really know if you were going to be able to count on these 2 girls when the season started. Or this girl, rookie quarterback Ashley Salerno.
Second down. Handoff goes along the left side. That's Margolis again. And she gets across the 15 out to about the 20. That's enough for a first down. Call it a gain of about 7. It'll be that first down, and we'll take a timeout. 6-6, LA and Chicago. We'll be right back.
This is Friday Night Football.
Temptation Nation out in force this evening. 6-6, just under 7 minutes left. Motion goes to the far side. It's a reverse again. Looking long, and it is just overthrown. Looking for Amber Doswhite, and they had it, just couldn't quite complete that pass.
Nice effort by Doswhite getting down the field. Little pitch back to the quarterback, and I don't think we need to worry about Salerno's arm, who, remember, Tommy, was on the guys' team in high school and made the team. So no question that she obviously has plenty of arm and plenty of distance to get it there. And I'm really impressed with Biz's offense and defensive game plan for LA, and also with Matt Sinclair's game plan for Chicago.
I agree. Yep.
They've done a great job now. Some trick plays and some stuff have hurt both teams, and Chicago's inability in the red zone. But for the most part, they're taking great weapons out of the game.
Second down and 10. Motion comes to the near side. It's a little pitch. That's Ogum Chichinyu. She's going to come around the 20 to the 23 or 24. And there is no face mask on their helmets, but that was as close to a face mask you could get.
That would have been a 37-yard penalty, Tommy, in real football. And when I say real, I'm talking about NFL, where they have face masks where you can grab and go for it. And without, I guess there's nothing you can latch onto with the little shields there.
Right.
But if there ever was a time that you would call it, that would have been it.
That was it.
Head face. It's like a cartoon where they snap the head around and it spins 360 degrees. Shows you the athleticism that these girls aren't, that more injuries don't happen, how good they are. Not a whole lot of pads on their body either, Tommy.
Third and 7. Trip receivers go to the left side, and that's where Salerno's going to go on a keeper. She's got a first down and more. Out across the 20. Let's call it a game of about 6 or 7 on the play. Out very close to midfield.
Again, folks, I can't tell you the importance of this, not only this football game and, you know, these fourth down attempts. And although both of these teams are headed to the Western Conference playoff.
They're going to play again in a couple weeks.
January 29th in Jacksonville. Does it look to you like they don't care, like this is a meaningless game?
No.
There's awards on the line. There's pride on it. There's game plan on the line to say, well, how did we defend them the first time, and how did we attack them offensively? There's a lot going on in this game.
First down, 1st and 10. Again, the football, it's about the 19-yard line. Motion goes to the far side. Salerno, a little pitch. That's Stephanie Pissick. And Pissick gets a couple yards on the play. She's not going much further than that. And again, Shannon Renee right there on the stop. Boy, she's played well.
Oh.
Shannon Renee has had a heck of a ball game.
I'm going to stand up and cry foul if that girl's not on the all-fantasy team this year. I don't care where you put her. You name her wherever you want. She's also going to grab a bucket of water and some towels for you, too. That's how much she's doing for this team.
Salerno throws left side, and Amber Doswhite just couldn't hang on to that one. It's incomplete.
Just an easy case of Amber trying to run before she's got the ball in her hands. Happens to all of us. Trying to make a play. Trying to make something happen on that little hit screen, little smoke screen, bubble screen out there to the side, and Amber just dropped it. And I like LA approach using a lot of different weapons, as they said, because I would imagine Vandewalker and Gaxiolo both be ready to go when we go playoff time, Tommy. And you'll have your full array of athletes. Word on the street is that the rumor is that Stacey, that stay not fully confirmed, that Stacey Jarrett could be lost for the season with a torn ACL, which is a huge blow to the playoff hopes.
That just hurts Chicago. Trips to the left side. Salerno again now cuts back. Danielle Moynet right there read it very well and takes her right down.
Tommy, it gives me a stomachache thinking about it for Stacey Jarrett, who's had a wonderful year.
Yeah.
Chicago obviously relies on her with the weapons that, you know, you need her as a weapon because she not only gives you insurance at the quarterback position, but also gives you a C. Moynet in on the play. And Danielle is always solid on defense. And yes, she's one of the faces of this league, Tommy, also, as we've seen her in a lot of the ads and the commercials. But I just hope for Stacey Jarrett's sake, first of all, because that's a long rehab, Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
That ACL. But she's a worker and she'll get back. But that's devastating to Chicago's chances if, in fact, she does miss the play.
They've got to throw the football here. 4th and 8. 2.5 left. Salerno fades back, rolls out to the right, steps up, throws, and it's incomplete. Looking for Stephanie Pissick. And again, Chicago, very nice job defensively there. Danielle Moynet right there on the stop.
Nice job. Even if Steph would have caught the ball, there's somebody there to hit her right off the spot. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room to run after a catch or a space here. These defenses close on it so doggone fast. LA turns it over. How important is this, Tommy? 2:25 to go. Chicago's got the ball, has not had a red zone touchdown yet inside there, has been poor in the red zone. Now they got the ball, controlling the clock with a chance to put this game away and set a little pride in, hey, look who's here as we head to the playoffs.
Rolling around the right side, looking, and there's nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go.
If it's not for a couple plays on offense and a Shannon Renee and the big play by Heather Furr, Tommy, Chicago's been non-existent as far as moving the ball.
Absolutely, and Shannon Renee very slow to get up. We got a timeout.
Can't lose her.
2 minutes left. We'll take a break and come back. A preview of the semifinals.
This is Friday night football.
LFL fans, you're in for another treat next week when 3-0 Philly travels south to take on 3-0 Tampa. What an exciting couple weeks of football, not to mention previews of our Western and Eastern Conference playoffs set to be played later this month live.
Boy, there's some weapons in that football game coming up.
Oh, yeah. 2nd down. Fades over the middle, throws intended for Pryor, and it's knocked down and incomplete.
Just a few names. We got all fans of players like Donna Ferry in that game. You got Brandy Trowell, a wide receiver. You've got Liz Gorman, who's a defensive rating MVP.
Mary Rose
by
Roach.
the way, you got somebody who may be the best running back all around in this league and an MVP candidate in Roach. Everywhere you turn around, you got coaches like Yo Murphy that will open up and give you every formation under the Mike Mart's sun in Chicago. So it'll be a fun game to watch and another preview of the Eastern Conference playoff.
She'll fade back, look, steps up, throws, and it's caught. Deborah Poles has got it out across the 20, out to about the 22. And Sean, that's going to set up 4th and about 4, somewhere in through there.
Monumental play here.
Yep, this is it.
Yes, I mean, this is one of those things where it's 6-6. We've never had an overtime game, Tommy. We haven't had an overtime game.
Correct.
And so you're staring right at it. Now, you don't want to do anything stupid that gives LA the ball. And as you start to creep down to the red zone, maybe if you're Chicago, you say, we got to get a touchdown outside the red zone again because we're not very good down in there. A little bit late, though. They got to make some plays down the field.
4th and a short 4. Here's the fake give. This is the same play they got the touchdown on, and she's not going to get it. Heather Furr comes around that right side. Kayla Teener, among others, with the stop, and LA has held yet again.
Has Kayla Teener done a great job, which is normally that inside backer defense, that middle, doing what Gaxiola does,
right.
Sideline to sideline. Hey, nice fill-in, Kayla Teener.
Yeah.
She's no fill-in. This is a good football player. Just goes to show you the depth on both teams. Now you've given LA an unbelievable opportunity with $1:46 to go to put the game away on their home court.
They've got it in great field position just inside the Chicago side. Receiver split to both sides. Now motion comes to the near side. Fake a give, little play action, looking deep, stepping up, looking long. It's on the way, and it is caught. What a great catch!
Oh my goodness!
Chase, touchdown, LA.
How about Chase? We know her as an inside runner. That's her second big touchdown catch of the game. Great throw. Salerno showing why, Tommy, she's trying to put a doggone bam hammer in it and a nail in it, saying this is my MVP award aside from my game. Great job again. Play action fake. We saw this earlier in the game, and what happened? Chase for the touchdown. Salerno buys time, taking her shots down the field. Wants a touchdown, doesn't want overtime. Great job by the 5'11", 170-pound Chase to go up and catch it at its highest point and just out-physical the next person for a touchdown. And boy, is Chicago in trouble now. And how big is this extra point?
Oh, absolutely. 12-6 now, and they want to hurry. Motion goes to the far side. The give goes to the far side, trying to get outside, and a real stick on that tackle. Stephanie Pissick tried to get outside and just could not get out there. Nice job. Chicago read it very well. 12-6.
Well, we found out that LA isn't playing for no tie to go into overtime, Tommy, taking their shot right out of the chute there here with about $1:45 at the time, $1:50 to go. Now we're going to find out just what kind of guts and metal Chicago's about, down 12-6.
Give goes to Pryor. The tank with a cutback. Look out. She's got all kinds of room. 20, 15, 10, 5, and she is in. Touchdown. The Bliss come right back with the tank, Tasha Pryor, and she accelerates down the field. The Bliss puts 6 more on the board. The most muscular pose is what she's done in the past. Is it again? Oh, a little dance.
The two most physical players maybe in this league, Tommy, at least on offense I'm talking about. Here's one of them, and we just saw Zafora Chase catching a touchdown, her second one of the game. And here's Pryor getting to the end zone with home run hitter speed. Almost gets chased down with physicality. Great effort in the secondary by Los Angeles, but tripped up.
Oh!
Might have had a knee down, but guess what? They ruled it a touchdown, and guess it's going to stay that way. Now, you get
Extra point.
Extra point is huge for Chicago. And I guess they answered my what kind of mettle and toughness do they have? It took them one play. There you go.
All right, Chicago
I
going
love
for
this stuff,
one.
man.
Oh, this
I
is
love it.
terrific. This is terrific. See if they go away from Pryor. Nope, it's the tank. And you think LA might have been expecting that. Look at her fight forward. Cut down to the 1-yard line. Almost got in.
You know what I love about both of these teams, though, Tommy, that they did here at the end? Putting their girls in position to have a chance to win. But also, don't you want your best players to win a game for you?
Or lose. Absolutely.
Salerno, you don't put Michael Jordan on the sideline. Salerno throws the ball to Chase, bam. Heather Furr gives it to Tank Pryor, give it to your best player there, bam. They're putting the ball in their best players' hands. I'll bet you LA's going to try to win it now, too.
Motion comes to the near side. Salerno rules out to that right side, looking long, throws, and it is incomplete. Oh, she had some room. Melissa Margolis was right there, but it's incomplete.
And that's a good weapon to get the ball to, and taking your shots. And remember, we've never had an overtime game here, and how nice would it be if it does go to overtime with these two teams that are already in the playoffs having to get a little extra work in and see what happens. And they want this bad, even though it doesn't matter when it comes to the standings as far as getting to the playoffs.
2nd and 10 now. Fakes a handoff again. That play action has worked very well. Now some pressure. She hangs one out to dry, and it is almost intercepted. Heather Furr had her hand on it, but couldn't come up with it.
Get a lot of good plays. I like LA taking their chances. And Heather Furr not, you know what, this is one of those games, Tommy, where you say, go ahead and catch a hitch route on me and I'll tackle you, but we ain't giving up the home run with $1:20 to go.
Right, exactly.
But we've seen it happen in a lot of different levels of football. Somebody sneaks by somebody for a touchdown, which is stupidity if you let that happen.
3rd and 10. Motion again comes to the near side. It's another reverse. Here comes Nikki Key going around the left side. And Chicago read it well. Who's there? Deborah Poles one more time.
Hello. Hello, Deborah Poles. We got a lot of top-notch football players in this game, and Deborah's playing right to the end of the whistle and getting after it. Both teams are physical. Their bodies are going to be beat up, but I love what they're doing, and I love the fact that, you know what, there's nobody, they haven't said, well, Deborah, we don't want you to get hurt.
Right.
We've already seen the injury to Stacey Jarrett, which may be lost with an ACL for the rest of the season, which will hurt this football team. But you know what? They're lining up. Salerno's still in the game. Poles is in the game. Margolis is in the game. Zephora Chase is in the game. They don't care. They're playing to win.
4th and 7. They can run it or throw it. It's a reverse again. Now a pitch back. Salerno looking, trying to run, trying to get away, and she can't. Yashi Rice there on the stop again. Zephora Chase was looking, and now Rice comes up for a little extra talk.
Yeah, a little chatter. 23 seconds to go. But, Tommy, look what they've done now field position-wise. Look what they've done. Now, that's about the 6th or 7th time we've seen a reverse and a reverse pitch pass. Now you've given L.A., their defense, a tough stop here against Chicago.
Throw to the right side, and it's cost. Nice catch. Deborah Poles right there. 15 seconds to go. Chicago trying to hurry.
Clock it. Clock the ball. Clock it. Don't run a play. Kill it, kill it, kill it. There you go.
They'll do just that. They lost about 9 or 10 seconds. That may have been a spot for a timeout.
That's well, even then, if you're not going to use your timeout, you don't want to. The last thing you want to do in a game like this is leave one on the board, Tommy. You don't want to leave it sitting on the board. Use it. But then in the case, you had to know the play before that when you came out of the ball change of possessions. That if we get a completion, here's what you need to do: get them to the line of scrimmage and go. Now they're going to get one shot at it when they would have had two. They would have had two. Now here's what I do: I stack Poles and Shannon Renee to the same side. That's what I do. And take a chance and run a great route and take a shot.
She'll fade back, looking, steps up, throws, and it's incomplete. She was looking for Deborah Poles right there, and it's knocked away, incomplete.
That's Hieronymo with a great hit. Done a good job today on knocking people around and getting after it. Now, Tommy,
this is it.
You can't take the underneath stuff here. A tackle's game over. You got to throw the ball into the end zone unless somebody's wide open on a check down.
Football at the 11-yard line. She'll fade back. Got some pressure. Steps up. Throws, and it's intercepted.
You better make a
Amber
tackle.
Doswide's got it. She's across the 20, 15, 10, 5. Hold it, flag. Did you see the clip? It was not part of the play. The clip at the 5-yard line will bring this back, and we'll go to overtime.
Now, that's just not smart football. Tommy, there was nobody even around. There's nobody. Doswide walks into the end zone.
Holding. Doing the return team. Number 19. 5 yards from the end of the penalty. We have one on time down.
He pointed the wrong way. The penalty was on LA, not on Chicago. Oh my gosh, there was nobody on that side of the field. You didn't need to block or hold anybody. Doswide took it to the house. That penalty was on LA, folks, not Chicago. This is one untimed penalty here. Take another shot.
Fake a give. Now they're going to throw it into the end zone. You know that's coming. And the pass is incomplete. Zephora Chase. They were looking for Chase, that big body out there. It's incomplete. We're going to overtime.
This is Friday night football.
Tommy, before we get to this, the person who's played great, Zephora Chase, on that one return by Doswide, was the one called for the holding.
We put it on the 15-yard.
We'll set up some overtime rules for us here, Tommy.
Well, here's the official talking, but it...
Okay. Switch sides.
Official's a little confused here.
Yeah.
Surgeon will take possession on the 15-yard line. Going out.
First down. It's sudden death. That's what the official has not
Very
said.
simple.
This is a sudden death, first basket wins kind of thing.
So,
first touchdown wins.
Now the other team does not get an opportunity to get at least one offensive possession.
If LA scores here,
Ball game's over. See, for me, Tommy, in any league, I'm one of those guys. If I was a commissioner for a day, one of the rules I would make it number one, you never have ties at any level. Nobody wants a tie. But second of all, I would give, because the offense, defense, special teams should have a play in every single thing you do. I would give both teams minimum of a shot. But in this game, the rules are set up. Guess what? But I'm not commissioner.
Yeah.
Sudden death. We'll
right.
see what LA can do with it. And guess what? Coin toss matters, doesn't it, Tom?
Oh, it does. In this, it does. Like the old NFL rule.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's still in the regular season.
Yeah. All right, the clock's at 8 minutes. Forget the clock. Handoff. This is Margolis, who's going to come around the right side. She's going to, oh, nice fall forward. She got an extra yard on that. Yashi Rice there on the stop. Gain of about 4, make it 2nd and 6.
Just calm play call, and you're not in any rush. First downs, the clock isn't your concern. It's making sure you dominate on first and second down, so you got short yardage on third.
And you got to think, Zephora Chase and Melissa Margolis, and there's Margolis again. We'll touch it a lot, and she's going nowhere. Great open field tackle. Heather Furr there again. She does so much for this team.
It's crazy. Your team's in the playoff in 2 weeks, and your starters are still on the field.
Yep.
Like I said, you go into this game. We talked about it last week, heading into this game, Tommy, because we got back-to-back weeks of all 4 teams that are in the playoffs.
Right.
And they're playing each other, and then they'll do it again on the 29th in Jacksonville. You start to think, well, do you kind of play your guys for a while, get them a rhythm, get them out? And these coaches want to win. So the
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And in our conference call this week, that's what they both talked about. Handoff goes right up the middle. There's Zephora Chase. Look at her fight forward. She's going to get about 7 or 8 on that. And that's a first down for LA.
I'm going to tell you what, if you decide to come in there on your heels against Zephora Chase, she'll hit you so hard you'll be a french fry short of a Happy Meal. So make sure you're awake when you bring it. And Tommy, and I love these games. And next week we got 2 with these great defensive players against great quarterbacks and running backs. I just love, like for instance, Gorman and Rose next week. How good a matchup is that one? A safety coming down. It's going to be fun to watch. See how many big plays will be made in that one. This one's charging down. First overtime game in LFL history.
Trips to the left side. Salerno. Quick pitch goes to the left side. That's caught by Margolis, and she fights forward. Gets about 5 or 6 on that play. Showing a very nice possession for LA. Not looking home run, just chipping away.
Smart move, and we've seen LA. Now, Tommy, there's a method to this madness. What has LA done many times? They've run a bunch of reverses, about a half dozen of them, the double reverses.
Right.
And how many times we've seen them throw deep a lot? So what happens? Now, if you're Chicago, you back off. Now you can run these. And you know who I've got it? Margolis reminds me, she's Wes Welker, dude.
Oh,
she's Wes Welker,
yeah.
catching those little screens and getting down the field.
Second down. This is Zephora Chase. She just rumbles forward and finally stopped right there. Danielle Moyne, nice finish on the tackle. Zephora gets it to about 3rd down and a yard. Let's call it a gain of 3. Big 3rd down for LA
and
right here.
We will crown a game MVP in a second. For me right now, if I had to choose, on Chicago side, Tommy, to me it's Shannon Renee. I think Shannon Renee's been. I know Stacey Furr made some plays, as did Tank Pryor, and on LA's side, obviously Zephora Chase with the 2 touchdowns. But then again, Salerno threw the 2.
Yeah,
but
right.
We're winding down. I guess it's going to be who wins this game is going to be the MVP of the game.
3rd down and a yard, quarterback keeper, and she just follows that big offensive line that you've talked about straight down the field. LA knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
That's called getting on the backside of your sitter, Natalie Yonke, and saying, I'm going to take your all-fantasy booty right down the middle of the field, and I'm going to follow you, and we're going to get down there. Great push, great movement, great job by that interior 3 led by their center. As you see there, you see Yonke, you see Latasha Bradley in there. That is great push. LA understands how to be physical, and let's not leave out Laura Barba in there also. Tommy, that's a pretty good interior 3. And you know what? Why not again? Got a little timeout on the field.
2 teams wanted to talk it over there. Chicago called the timeout.
If it's me, you know what I do? I go chase right up the rear end of those 3 girls and make them stop it.
And that's what they're doing, and she's going nowhere. Deborah Poles, look at Poles with a wrestling match, and she is going nowhere. And a late collision. Wow. This is a football game, partner.
Hey, let's listen into this wired up, and you don't want to hear this too loud, do you? Folks, that's a quarterback, Salerno. Give me the ball, and bam! Tommy, and that's a message sent on both sides of the ball. You don't think they're going to be ready for January 29th, but right now,
man,
they still want this one.
We're in overtime here in LA.
Sudden death, folks.
Motion coming to the near side. Now Margolis is going to stop right there. Looking, steps up, throws into the corner of the end zone, and it is caught! What a catch! Zafora Chase ends it with a terrific catch falling out of bounds, and LA has won the West.
Sudden death. Tommy, now, okay, Zafora Chase got her 3, but you're never going to see a better throw in the league than that. That was keep your feet in bounds. You got a window about the size of, the tip of a pencil to get in there. I want you, when we see this replay, look at the celebration going on by LA. You see Davenport coming over and celebrating. Watch the throw by Salerno and the great body control by Zafora Chase at 170 pounds and 5'11". Poise in the pocket. Are you kidding me? That's pretty doggone good coverage, too, in the secondary. Great throw and catch. Great finish of a football game.
Looked like might have only been 1 foot in bounds, but it doesn't matter. This one's over.
What a game. They'll be talking about it for a couple weeks. They'll game plan for each other, Tommy. That is a great sudden death game. Obviously excited. What a great pitch and catch. Salerno to Chase. 3 times it happened in this game. I think that there you see, well, we're going to give it to Zafora Chase. 3 for 56 and 3 touchdowns, and Salerno did not hurt her chances for the MVP award, and Zafora Chase becomes an instant star these last 2 times we've seen him play 2 weeks in a row.
Unbelievable. What a terrific game. We'll see him again in a couple weeks. Here's your numbers, Sean.
Tommy, look at the key. 4th down conversions, 1 of 7 for Chicago, and awful in the red zone. That's the difference in the big passing arm and day chase from Salerno.
Tampa and Philly next week ought to be another classic. We'll see you down in Tampa. From LA, the West Champs. Good night, everybody.